Welcome back to another Pokemon Slab Sunday, where once a month we go through a ton of graded cards, kind of getting a feel for the market. And there's honestly so many cards going up in price right now, it's kind of crazy. I have the maximum amount of pages open on my computer, and we are going to do a little giveaway today. All you have to do is make sure you're subscribed, hit that like, hit that notification bell, and then I want you to comment the most fun you've ever had opening a set. Is it Crown Zenith? Is it 151? Is it Chilling Rain? Whatever it is, let me know down below. I'm giving away these, a couple Galarian Gallery cards, and a base set Clefairy Hollow card. And then we do have to announce the winners from last Sunday's giveaway. For the member, it is at Raphael at RunDadRun, catch them all. And the other winner is at Chris Merck. So just shoot me an email or hit me up on Instagram and I'll get those cards sent out to you. We do have to give a big thanks to our video sponsor real quick, and that is Collectr. This app is the best of the best when it comes to tracking your collection. No other app even compares. I have actually tried them all, and they're always adding new features. Let us know down below if you want them to add anything or fix anything. And make sure you follow them on all their socials. They do more giveaways than anyone that I have seen in this entire hobby. So definitely check them out. I'll have all the links in the description. But all right, let's get into it. We have a ton of cards to go through. Even my little mouse pad is barely working on my laptop because it's just so many pages open. So we're going to try to go in order, from the newest sets to the oldest. So we got White Flare. This is the Red Victini. Last sold in a PSA 10 is 1,625 and 1,596. I did have to record this one day early, so there might be a couple new sales. Next, we have the White Reshiram. This is probably still my favorite full art of all the new full arts that we got, out of the white one, black one, and red one. And even the golds from the new Mega set, I still like this card better. But last sold in a PSA 10, 990, 989. That's really good to see. All the sales were over 1,000 last week. Next, we have the Reshiram EX SIR. Pokedata was not up to date for this card, but we got sales at 750, 750, was 1,200 before that. We got 820 on auction, 711, 660, 771. Next, we have the Hydreigon from White Flare. I really think the Hydreigon and the Kyurem arts might be the best special illustration rares in the entire sets. I really love Keldeo also. And Genesect, honestly, like all of those more than the actual Reshiram and Zekrom. Let me know down below. Pokedata also didn't have any 10 sales for that card either, but we got one on eBay, $415 with only 4 bids on August 25th. All right, next we have the other Red Victini from Black Bolt. Last sold in a PSA 10, 1,600, 1,486. Next, we have the Black Zekrom Full Art. Last sold in a 10, 1,176. 1375, 1275. So getting a little bit more money than the White Reshiram. Next, we have the actual Reshiram EX SIR. Last sold 750, 750, 1,200 best offer accepted. Next, we have the actual Seismitoad illustration rare here. It just keeps slowly falling. But last sold in a 10 is still 1,476. Before that was 1,600. I have no idea who would actually spend that kind of money on this card. It just blows my mind. Next, we have the Kyurem. Last sold in a 10. 271, 252. But I just feel like this art is just so clean. Such a cool Pokemon. Next, we have the Genesect. Last sold $270 and $260 before that. Next, we have the Team Rocket's Mewtwo. So it was going down in price. Now it's starting to go right back up. Got down to about $990. Now last sold $1,200, $1,200. We got a PSA 9 at $430. Another 10 at $1,275. Yeah, there's a ton of cards on this list where they bottomed out, and now they're just starting to climb right back up. Next, we have the Cynthia's Garchomp. So, same thing, got down about $570. Now last sold $600, $645, $590, $590. Next, we have the Ethan's Ho-Oh. Last sold $499, $450, $425. I just love how clean this card is. I like this card more than any single card from Prismatic Evolutions. Kind of a hot take, maybe. Next, we have the Lily's Clefairy. So, got down about $395. Now last sold $498. PSA 9 at $136. Another 10 at $435 and $515. Next, we have the Salamence from Journey Together. Love this art also. Got down to $237. Now last sold $300, $322, $270, $290, $300. Kind of want to do a tier list of all the special illustration rares and rank them art-wise based on my opinion. I think that would be really fun. Next, we have the Umbreon EX from Prismatic. Climbing back up. It's funny, the raw just keeps going down. We just finally got sales below $800. But the PSA 10 just keeps climbing. Got down to $2,525. Now last sold $3,925. That's crazy. Before that was $2,990 and $2,900. Next, we have the Sylveon EX. Got down to $730. Now last sold $860, $866, and $875. And these all have semi-low pops just because it's kind of tough to pull the exact card you want in the set. The pull rates are so tough. And a lot of people still have their cards out grading, so we'll get a bunch more. But they're not like actually tough to grade. Next, we have the Leafeon. Got down to $490. Now last sold $550, $550, $550. Next, we have the Vaporeon. Got down to $615. Now last sold $750, $749, and $730. And it was literally in August when all these sales got to their lowest. Next, we have the Espeon. Got down to $595. Now last sold $699, $675, $650. Next, we have the Glaceon EX. This got down to $420. Now last sold $480, $465, $450, and $442. Even some of the raw evolutions are starting to go back up in price for Prismatic Evolution. So make sure you guys check out tomorrow's Market Monday. It's going to be a crazy one. I'll probably have the maximum amount of pages open for that one too. So the Flareon here got down to $430. Now last sold $450, $460, $450. So that one's barely gone up. And now the Jolteon is the cheapest evolution out of all the SIRs. For Prismatic, this got down to $371. Now last sold $470, $460, and $450. Next, we have the Roaring Moon. It's got down to $450. Now last sold $599, $665. Next, we have the Eevee. It's got down to $355. Now last sold $445, $440, $420. Next, we have the Pikachu EX, which is actually starting to go back up in price a tiny bit for raw. I have a feeling it's going to follow the Greninja and the Bubble Mew and stuff. Probably not as crazy as the Bubble Mew, but this got down to $705 in June in a 10. Now last sold $980, $990, $950. Next, we have the Latias from Surging Sparks. Also going up in price. This was $380 in June. Now last sold $550. Bunch of 9s at $150. Another 10 at $600. Next, we have the Milotic. It's got down to about $260. Now last sold $323, $325, $300. Next, the Greninja EX got down to $630. Now last sold $929, $975, $945. Next, the Bubble Mew EX. This thing is just going nuts. So it was $775 in June. Now last sold $1,975. And like I said, I have to record this a couple days early or a day early. So we might have a couple new crazy sales. And another 10 at $1975. Next, we have the Paldean Fates Charizard EX. All the Charizards are going up in price right now because we have a new Charizard set coming. This card was at $420 for the longest time. Now last sold $845, $899. Another one at $890. Next, we have the Gardevoir EX, also moving up in price. Same with the raw. This is at $193 in June. Now last sold $410, $425. Next, we have the Baby Shiny Pikachu from Paldean Fates. So it's $154. Now last sold $325, $255, $299. This has a pop of only $1,146 in a 10 and $2,500 in a 9. Next, we have the Groudon Illustration Rare. It's got down to $295. Now last sold $355, $375, $455. Next, the Charizard EX is moving. Got down to $710. Now last sold $1,150, $1,120. Got to check the all-time for this card. I was going to say, I think those prices were the highest they've ever been because we got right at 1,000 last time. So, kind of crazy. Next, we have the Blastoise EX also going up in price. So last sold in a 10 for this card was $425 on the 3rd. Next, the Zapdos finally getting some love. Even raw, it's getting somewhat expensive. It's like an $80 card now. Such a beautiful, nice card. And just getting 3 legendary Pokemon in the same card is just so cool. Was at $200 in a 10. Now last sold 425, 445, 420. Next, we have the Venusaur EX going up. Was at $240. Now last sold 380. Another one at 380. Next, the Squirtle. Got down to 175. Now last sold 268. Another one at 228 and 290. Next, we have the Charmander. Got down to 230. Now last sold 399, 365, 360, 318. Next, we have the Pikachu illustration rare from 151, the card that I've been saying for over a year now. Should be the most expensive illustration rare, and it is getting super, super close. It says TCG player $45 here, but it got down to about $150. Now last sold 325, 375, 395. Like if anybody's a Gengar fan and you got to collect all the Gengars, you need this card. Takes up the whole corner. If you're a Blastoise fan, we got Blastoise hanging out right there. Butterfree, Psyduck, Growlithe. I mean, so many awesome Pokemon. Slowpoke, Jigglypuff. Next, we have the Alakazam. Got down to $172. Now last sold $345 and $299. Next, we have the Bulbasaur. Was at $145. Now last sold $192, $299. Next, the Charizard EX from Obsidian Flames. This was a $340, $350 card for the longest time. Now last sold $773, $775. We got one sale at $850. Next, the Ninetales. Such a beautiful illustration rare. Was at $178. Now last sold $330. And another one at $330. Plus, this card is actually somewhat tough to grade, actually, because it's got $3,900 in a 10, $8,600 in a 9, and $2,600 in an 8. Next, the Magikarp. The high for this Magikarp was $2,261. Got down to about $1,800. Now last sold $2,500, $2,100, $2,100, $2,036. So right back to where it was. Next, we have the Charmander Pokemon Center promo. Remember, these cards have really low pops. 610 in a 10, and 2,761 in a 9, 1,795 in a 8. Last sold in a 10 is $3,500, and that was on the 1st. So next, we have the Snorlax Pokemon Center promo. Last sold in a 10, 1,451, 1,675, 1,600, 1,800. This one has a little bit higher pop. 1,394 in a 10, and 2,558 in a 9. Next, we have the Pikachu Pokemon Center Stand promo, Paldea Evolved. Last sold in a 10, 1,325, and 1,205. This one has a low pop, like says a pop of 550. Next, the Pikachu with Gray Felt Hat, the most graded card in Pokemon history, with 42,134 10s, 39,152 9s, and 3,766 8s. So kind of leveling out. Last sold 1,250, 1,239, 1,250, 1,300. Next, the Eevee Pokemon Center Stand promo. This card basically just doubled. I literally just bought this a few weeks ago at one of the shows that I was vending because I'm buying all Pokemon Center ETBs and promos and keeping them all. And I bought it for like $300. And now last sold 770, 800, 820, 825. I mean, that's a good amount of money right there. Next, the Mimikyu. This was a $180 card. Now last sold 408, 410. Next, the Team Rockets Wobbuffet. This card last sold in a 10 is 475, 520, 420. Next, the Magneton Pokemon Center Stand promo. Last sold 375, 375, 380, 399. I think I have 3 of these now in a PSA 10 that I picked up at like 180 when I was vending. Next, we have the Mew EX promo. Last sold in a 10 says 500, and before that was 810. That is quite the difference right there. Wow. But this card has a pop of 8,400 in a 10 and almost 20,000 in a 9 and 5,500 in an 8. Next, we have the Kingdra EX. The high for this was 383. Now last sold 330, 340. It's going to happen every time when a card gets super hyped up. It'll eventually just come down in price a little bit and then kind of level out and find its sweet spot. Next, Circuit Ninja EX. Same thing, last sold 385, 390, 375. We did have a couple sales over 400 for this card. Next, we have the Marnie's Morpeko. This is the promo that comes in the battle deck. Now last sold 330, 299, 299, 261. Beautiful card. I love the colors on it. Next, we have the regular Charmander promo. This thing's going crazy. It's like $30, $40 raw now. So it's at $171 in a 10. Now last sold $425. Wow. Same with the Mewtwo from the 151 UPC. Now last sold in a 10, $550, $470. So it's a $250 card in July. Next, we have the Lugia V from Silver Tempest. Last sold in a 10 now is $1,075, $1,200, $1,150. Next, we have the Rayquaza VMAX from Silver Tempest. So a ton of the Trainer Gallery cards are actually going up in price right now in a 10. Not so much raw. I mean, a couple of them are moving up a little bit. But this was a $180 card in a 10. Now last sold $299, $305. And that was literally in August. It was $180. Next, we have the Giratina V. Now last sold $2,240, $2,400, $2,175, $2,300. Then we got 9s at $400, $699, $600. Next, we have the Pikachu VMAX Trainer Gallery from Lost Origin. Same thing with a $175 card. Now last sold $260, $260, $255. Next, we have the Pikachu V Trainer Gallery from Lost Origin. Now last sold $280, $275, $250. Next, we have the Gengar Trainer Gallery. I think these next 3 Trainer Gallery cards are the best 3 Trainer Gallery cards, talking the non-textured ones. So this was $166 in July. In a 10, now last sold $420, $344, $425. Next, we have the Charizard from Lost Origin Trainer Gallery. The one where I think Lance is scratching his neck or about to scratch his neck. Probably one of the most adorable Charizards we've gotten. Last sold in a 10, $285. So it's a $120 card in August. Next, we have this Sleepy Pikachu. So yeah, those 3 Trainer Gallery cards I think are the best 3 Trainer Gallery cards. So it's a $155 card. Now last sold $360 and $300. Next, we have the Mewtwo V from Pokemon Go. So it's a $165 card. Now last sold $400, $385. Next, we have the Machamp V from Astral Radiance. So it's a $300 card. Now last sold $416, $399, $370, and $360. Next, we have the Starmie V Astral Radiance Trainer Gallery. So it's just starting to go up in price a little bit. Last sold $350, $339, $310, $350. It was at like $290. Next, we have the Charizard V from Brilliant Stars. This was a $480 card. Now last sold $850, $839, $875. It's just crazy that this card is like the exact same price as the Paldean Fates card in a PSA 10. Next, we have the Umbreon VMAX Trainer Gallery from Brilliant. This got down about $150. Now last sold $200, $249, $200, $225. Next, we have the Umbreon V Trainer Gallery. So it's $130. Now last sold $222, $180, $185. Next, we have the Gengar VMAX from Fusion Strike. This card just keeps going crazy. It was at about $1,400. Now last sold $2,000, $2,100, $2,025. Next, we have the Espeon VMAX from Fusion Strike. So it's a $500 card. Now last sold $607, $680, $739. It's funny if you go check the raw, it's going down in price, but that PSA 10 is just climbing up. Next, we have the Mew VMAX from Fusion Strike. I do think we have more people who collect graded cards than ever before. So it definitely takes an effect. This card was a $300 card. Now last sold $575, $610, $500. Next, we have the Charizard from Celebrations. This was a $250 card. Now last sold $399, $350, $399, $400. Very curious to see what this card is going to end up at when we actually get to the 30th. There's 28,000 of these in a 10 and 15,000 in a 9. Next, we have the Umbreon Gold Star. I like this card a lot more than the Charizard reprint just because the Umbreon Gold Star is so special and it's never gotten a reprint before, and we have a ton of Charizard base set reprints. But this was at $280. Now last sold $375, $370, $350. Next, we have the Shiny Magikarp from Celebrations. This was at $140. Now last sold $166, $172, so still somewhat affordable. Again, a reprint of a very expensive card. If you guys do not know about the Shining cards, I know it's just a Magikarp, but There's an unlimited version and first edition version, and they are very expensive, hundreds and hundreds of dollars for a Magikarp. Next, we have the Sleepy T-Tar. This is at $420. Now that's sold $598, $699, $200. That can't be the right card. A couple more at $599. Next, we have the Umbreon VMAX from Evolving Skies. This was at $2,225 in May, and it's just been slowly climbing. Last sold now $3,250, $3,100, $3,184, $3,300. We checked the all-time. It did get up to $3,000 before, so now it is the most expensive it has ever been for the Umbreon VMAX. Next, we have the Rayquaza VMAX. It's a grand in June. Now last sold $1,600, $1,526, $1,665. Next, we have the Dragonite V. I couldn't add all the Evolving Skies. Like I said, I ran out of pages. So I might do 2 of these a month. I'm not sure because there's just so many cards that I wanted to check. You know, I still wanted to check all the Sword and Shield promos and even a lot of the Sun and Moon stuff. So maybe my next Slab Sunday will be some of the cards that I didn't check today. So the Dragonite V was a $570 card. Now last sold $960 and $1,000. And I think it deserves it. I think it's such an awesome card. And last on the list, we have the Blaziken VMAX Alt Art. So this got down to about $600. It's pretty much been there for a very, very long time. Now last sold $691, $699. And we'll check that all-time high for this, which was probably right when it came out. $850 is the high for this card. But yeah, we're getting close. We do have one sale at $850 actually right here. Crazy. Another one at $750, $700, $645. But all right, that was this month's Pokemon Slab Sunday. If you guys do like this content, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a like and comment. And I am going to be dropping a little bit of PokeBeard merch here in the next couple weeks. I partnered with another company, so keep your eye out for that. And then 2, if you guys want to support more, you guys can check out my Instagram, my TikTok, or my YouTube membership. It's only 99 cents a month. But all right, I want you guys to have a great day. And if you guys want to watch my last Pokemon Following Friday, which was a good one, click this video here. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.